Just 30% of workers surveyed by Gallup recently said that they had received recognition or praise for doing good work in the past week. So when they did the survey, when they did the study, they asked them, over the last week, have you received praise or recognition from your leader? And 30%, 3 out of 10 said no. That number's way too high. After all, how hard is it, leaders? The answer is it's not hard. It's just not top of mind. And the question is why? I'm going to get to that. And what does that mean for you? What do you do about it if you're in the situation? Another survey by WorkHuman, which is an HR software company, found that more than half of workers they spoke to didn't feel valued by their employer. Let's go further. 52% of people said the top reason they quit their job was because they didn't feel valued. Now, the reason they didn't feel valued is because they haven't heard the words, good job. Good job. You guys are doing great. Now, if I could gather every leader and manager in the world in one room and I was speaking to them via computer all around the world, I mean, every language, every industry, and I could look at every leader in the world, I would share with them this data. The reason that people don't feel valued at work is because they don't get the praise and recognition that they need from their leader. They will leave the company, but they're leaving because of you. You either did not give them this praise and recognition, or you did something awful to them. So, as I've said before, leaders, sometimes people leave you not because of something you did to them, but because what you didn't do for them. And what you didn't do for them is you didn't praise them. You didn't recognize them. Listen, praise is simply recognition. In order to praise someone, you have to see them. You have to see them doing something good. So the praise and the reward, because there's really two types of recognition. There's, hey, I see you, good job. And then the second is, I see you, good job, and I want to give you this for the good job. That is recognition. And so I would say to these leaders, it's these two things. Say good job. Mean it, by the way. And be specific. And then when you can, reward. You don't always have to reward, but you mix it in there when you can, when it's feasible, when it's reasonable. But there's no leader in the world who can at least one time in a work week look at the people that they are directly leading and say, good job. Because to say that is to, in fact, recognize them. I see you. We all want to be seen. See, that's that craving to be seen in our unique way. And then we want to be valuable. We want to be seen. We want to be valuable. This is at the core of all of us. Yes, we've grown up, some of us more than others, but we're still the little boy and little girl who wants to be seen by their parent and they want to be loved. So the worker says, I want to be seen, but I want to be valued. I want you to tell me that I'm doing good. Whereas the child says, do you see me, mommy? Do you see me, daddy? And do you love me? The worker saying, do you see me, leader? Am I valuable? This is a soul craving. So for those of you hanging on a thread, I told you I was going to bring it back. this may be the reason, and it's okay for you to acknowledge this. This is not something to be embarrassed by. I'm trying to give tremendous freedom here to say, this is what's really going on. Now that I think about it, this urge, this itch, this restlessness, this whatever that I'm feeling is because I've not been recognized enough. But see, to say that at first feels a little sensitive. It feels a little, ooh, am I a baby? Not if you're handling this with maturity. And so for those of you that are hanging on by a thread, here's what you have to determine. If this is the major reason why you're hanging on, you need to be okay to say, I need to find an environment where the leaders are intentional and I'm getting this human need met. That's the first thing. The second thing is this a temporary situation where you're trying to move up the ladder, you want to move up the ladder, and this position is key to the journey. And even though you're not getting it, can I get it somewhere else? Because if I can get that from friends and family and your spouse, and maybe some teammates, that'll keep you in the game long enough to stay on the climb. Leaders, if you're listening to me, I just gave you the magic to keeping people.